When playing the drums, you want good fluidity of motion and also ease of motion. Now to achieve that, you need to be holding the drumsticks correctly. Okay, so they should feel like an extension of your arms and hands. Okay, so everything's working in harmony. Right, now to do that, you need to make sure you're first of all sitting with good posture. Okay, so you want to keep your lumbar engaged, so you've got a good foundation at the bottom of your back, and you want to keep your spine nice and straight. Okay, so no slouching. Alright, so sit up nice and straight, and you want to make sure your shoulders and upper arms are nice and relaxed. Okay, so you're not holding any tension here, right? So everything's nice and relaxed up here, and your lumbar's keeping you nice and straight. You feel that firm foundation, okay, when you're sitting on the throne. Okay, and then I want you to bring your playing hand up, okay, so you can start in a fist with your palm facing up, right? Then I want you to point out your first finger and thumb. Okay, then we're going to start with one stick, so you can place one stick on the floor. Okay, and then in your first finger, you've got two joints. Okay, so I want you to rest the drumstick in the first joint of the first finger. Okay, so you want to bend the first digit here to create a little ridge in that first joint. Okay, then rest the drumstick in that ridge, okay, about a third of the way up the stick. Okay, and then the tip of the stick can rest on the drum head. Okay, then we want to find the balance point of the stick. So this is where the stick rebounds the best, okay? It has the best rebound. All right, so first of all, let's just test this rebound. So you're going to pick up the stick at the top near the tip, all right, keeping it in that ridge. And you're just going to drop the stick onto the playing surface and see how the stick rebounds. Okay, so that's a pretty good rebound. So if you move the ridge further down the stick, okay, you can try that rebound. Okay, so the stick moved about a bit, so there wasn't a good balance there. So that wasn't as good as the previous balance point. And then move further up the stick. Okay, move the ridge further up. Pick up the stick. See, again, it didn't even drop because it didn't have good balance, all right? So you define the point on the stick where you get a nice rebound. And once you found that balance point, you want to place the pad of the thumb on the other side of the stick, okay, right in line with that ridge in the first finger, okay? And this creates the fulcrum. So this is the point where the stick levers, okay? You create that lever point, which is called the fulcrum. Okay, and you want to be holding this fulcrum firmly enough so the stick doesn't come out your hand, okay, but you don't want to be feeling any tension, okay? So you shouldn't feel any tension in your arm when you're pressing down with the thumb, okay? So press down so it stays in, but not feeling any tension. And once you've created the fulcrum, what you want to do is point out the back three fingers, so these three fingers here, and you just want to curl them around the bottom of the stick. Okay, so you don't want to be gripping with these back three fingers. You don't want to be pressing the stick into your hand. These back three fingers are just acting as support. Okay, so the stick should still be able to move in your hand. And you want to make sure there's a slight gap between the lower part of the index finger and the thumb. So the stick should feel nice and balanced. Okay, so you've got the firm grip of the fulcrum with the thumb and first finger, and just a nice relaxed support with the back three fingers. Okay, a good analogy is holding the stick should feel like holding a baby bird. Okay, so you want to be holding firm enough so the bird can't fly away, but you don't want to be holding too firm so as to harm the bird. Okay, so it's a balance between firm and relaxed. Okay, and the bottom of the stick should rest on the fleshy part of your hand here. So now you can hold the drumstick correctly. The next thing to know is that there are different grips that you can use. And these different grips fall into two different categories: matched grip and traditional grip. Okay, now matched grip refers to holding the stick in the same way in both hands. Okay, so how you're holding the stick in the lead hand, you just take the other stick and replicate that grip in the other hand. Okay, so the grip should look and feel exactly the same in both hands so that they're matched. Okay, now there are two different anatomical positions for the hands in match grip. One is known as German timpani or just German grip, and the other is known as French timpani or French grip. Okay, so let's take a look at those two different positions now. To play in German grip, the palms face down. Okay, so you can see the thumbs face inwards and the backs of the hands face upwards. Okay, you can see how the sticks form a triangular shape. Okay, and the direction of the stick should follow the outside of your forearm or just outside the forearm. Okay, so if you continue the line of the stick, it should match up with the outside of the forearm or just outside it. To play in French grip, the palms face inwards. Okay, so the thumbs face upwards and the backs of the hands face outwards. Okay, so you can see the sticks are parallel. And the direction of the stick points inwards of the arms. Okay, so it should be pointing directly towards the torso. Now in both German grip and French grip, the actual grip of the drumstick is exactly the same. The only difference is the position of the hands. Okay, now the hands in German grip gives you more access to the wrists, and the hands in French grip gives you more access to the fingers. Okay, so there are benefits for both grips. Now there's also another grip known as American grip, which is halfway between German grip and French grip. Okay, so the thumbs point slightly inwards. Okay, so the left hand thumb is at the 2 o'clock position and the right hand thumb is at the 10 o'clock position. Okay, and you can see how these sticks form a triangular shape. Traditional grip, which is also known as orthodox grip, is associated with military style drumming and only applies to the non-lead hand. Okay, it dates back to the Middle Ages and it was a natural physical response to the position of the snare drum as it was hung by a body strap to the drummer's side. Okay, so the position of the drum meant that you could play with the lead hand normally, but you had to change the grip with the left hand. Okay, so they held the sticks like this to be able to play the drum as it hung from the side. Okay, so drummers who were playing in drum corps would graduate to play the drum kit and they just took this grip with them. Okay, so traditional grip was the prominent grip in the first half of the 20th century. Okay, now the principles of traditional grip are the exact same as match grip. So we hold the stick in the lead hand in match grip, okay, which we can do already. So we're just going to put this stick on the floor. And then we're going to put the stick that goes in the non-lead hand just down onto the snare drum. And then we're going to start by putting our non-lead hand out as if we were about to shake someone's hand. Okay, so just hold it parallel to the drum head. And then we're going to place the stick, again about a third of the way up the stick, into the groove or crook of the thumb here. So this will be the fulcrum, okay, that lever point of the stick. Okay, and then we're just going to find the balance point in the exact same way as we did with match grip. Okay, so you're going to move your hand outwards so the tip of the stick bounces in the middle of the drum head. Okay, and then you're going to curl in your ring finger and pinky finger, okay, so they should be touching. You're going to curl them in together, and then you're going to rest the stick on the top knuckle of your ring finger, okay, so you've got 2 knuckles here on the ring finger, so just rest the stick on that top knuckle there. And then you want to bring the first 2 fingers together to touch slightly, okay, so this is the index finger and the ring finger, so you just want them to touch slightly, and then keeping them pretty straight but slightly curled, you want to bring them on top of the stick. Okay, so they're touching the stick very gently, okay, to hold the stick in the fulcrum, but you want to feel no added tension. And then the pad of the thumb can lightly touch the first knuckle, okay, so the main knuckle of the index finger, okay, just there, okay, to hold the stick in place. And again, just stay relaxed with that thumb, okay, so you don't want to feel any tension. And then you just need to adjust the angle of your snare to work with your grip. Okay, so you need to replicate the angle the drum would be if it was hung to the side by a body strap. Okay, so the angle needs to tilt forwards and slightly inwards as well.